Keep the city balanced, meet every gritty challenge. Stay low, baby bro.
I got started in this business in a very interesting way. I was going to be a lawyer. Took my LSATs, getting ready to go to law school. Thought I was a pretty smart kid. And I was working for a place that was a not-for-profit that found attorneys for people who live below the poverty line. And I had a girlfriend at the time who was a hairdresser. And one day I walked into her salon and she had color in her hair. And I was like, let me wash that out for you. She said, okay. And in the middle of doing it, I had an epiphany. I said, I want to do this. This makes total sense to me. Now, mind you, I also knew that every lawyer that I knew was miserable. And I also knew that she worked 30 hours a week. She would go to Hawaii for a month. She made as much money as anyone else I knew. She was happy. She felt good. She helped people. So I went to hair school. Got out of law school and been doing hair ever since. My biggest influences, first I would have to say, is Gerard Scarpese. Without him, I don't know where I'd be. I love you, Gerard. And in seriousness, the people who are my idols, Eugene Suleiman has been incredible. And I would say, besides for like those kind of editorial hairdressers, Alain Pichon, Italo, Orlando, I mean, these guys are great hairdressers, but the people that have been the most powerful for me have been my educators. The people who sort of liberated me from like the chains of education. And what I mean by that is, when I first started doing hair, I was told you can't do this, you have to do it this way, you're too new, you don't know, these are advanced, you're not ready for that. And when I moved to Europe, I met a guy named Stefan. And Stefan worked at the Aveda at Covent Garden. He was an educator, worked with David Adams. And I lied to him about how long I'd been doing hair. I told him I'd been doing hair for like 8 years when I really had only been doing it for like a month. And he was kind enough to treat me like an equal. I mean, I'm sure he knew that I didn't know what I was doing, but he was like, all right, well, let me show you some of these things. And what he did was he opened the door for me. He was like, look, here's this, and you could do it this way and this way. And for me, that was like a huge, huge eye-opening experience that, I didn't know the possibilities. And all he did was say, look, there are many, and I'm going to show you what they are. And to me, that was one of the greatest gifts that I could have received. So the people who have influenced me have been the educators that have supported me, the people who have taught me what I know. And then also, I always get influenced whenever I go into salons, whenever I do work with other hairdressers. I always try to like see what they're doing, kind of get a feel of what's happening, and then see how that translates for me. Obviously, Peter Gray is exceptional. I mean, there's a lot of people in the industry that are geniuses that I love to be around that really make me a better hairdresser. The industry has given me the opportunity to really pursue other things that I've really valued, and one of those things has been Kung Fu and yoga, right? And for me, I started doing a lot of hair, and I became aware of, hair is this beautiful art, and it's really connected to the body and the mind, and that there were other things that also felt that way for me, like yoga and Kung Fu. So I started getting really deep because I've got the little OCD behavior, right? I get real obsessive. And so I started teaching yoga, I started teaching Kung Fu, and I really kind of dove really deep into that stuff. And I found that they're really all one anyway. And for me, I try to work with hair the same way I work with martial arts and yoga. I try not to push things too far. I really try to understand their boundaries. I try to really like cultivate wellness with whatever I'm doing, making sure that I'm healthy, making sure whatever we're doing is healthy, and really making sure that I know where we're going and I understand sort of the limits of things and also the possibilities of things. In a time where the economy is a little kind of confusing and we're so concerned about making sure we get paid. This is sort of the thing that I found to be the most beneficial for myself, and what's, I think, helped me be as successful as I have been, is that I've always been in the business of service. That even though I know that I need to get taken care of, that it's through giving that I always receive. So I really try to offer, education for me. I mean, without education for me, I would never be the hairdresser I am. So I've really made sure to really include a large portion of my work as education so that I can give back to the industry that's been so fruitful and very generous to me. So I think even though we're trying to get hours and we want to make sure we get paid, we get taken care of, I found that the more I give, the more it comes back to me. And that's been always my recipe for success.
It's time to nurture, grow a deep desire. See, nothing's gonna change unless we change ourselves. That's why I don't complain, instead I came to help. It's like war and peace, yin and yang, life and death. You have to respect someone with my type of rep. So into the paper and paper the